Welcome to WhatintheShibal podcast with Soogia and Ed.
We're just two Asian Americans talking shit about shit.
So much shit.
Hey, we're in our little newscaster roles today.
Yeah, this is our new casting era. But yeah, how was your week?
It was good. I went to Disneyland yesterday and I am fucking wrecked. I feel like I've been hit by a truck. I didn't realize that like 11 hours with my kids, my sister and her two kids running around Disneyland was gonna. I really feel like I'm outside of my body right now. I feel really like I don't know what's happening. Everything hurts. I think I went on roller coasters. Like I'm almost 50. And I went on space. No, I went on Matterhorn. I was like, ow! Oh my god! My neck! Oh my god.
Her body's not supposed to shake like this.
It hurt, but it was really fun. But it was exhausting. But you know, I'm so happy we went. How was your week?
It was good. After our last podcast, I couldn't stop thinking about how horrible I felt that I didn't visit my mom's friend. So literally, as I went home that night and was, started editing the podcast, I immediately reached out to my cousin and was like, hey, when's your mom leaving? You guys doing anything on Sunday? Aww. I was like, I'm going to bring over fried chicken. And then I talked to her, took a couple photos, and then spent the whole time playing with my cousin's kids again.
But you made the effort.
Yes.
The gesture was there, and it came from a place of kindness, and I think that was very nice.
Yeah. I mean, her and her husband, they're like kind of, have their own conversations, and then like,
yeah,
it's, yeah.
You're
but
still one of the kids.
We did. I mean,
right.
We still spent time, and then the kids, they're like at that age, are like, I think like 5 and 6. So they're like,
oh, they're so fun.
Yeah, they are. And they like just want to play with you the whole time. And they like really monopolize your time. Yeah.
It also feels good that they probably think you're super cool. And they're always like, yeah, I'm pretty cool.
Oh, well, actually, there was a moment when I was like, how's school going? He's like, I hate school.
Oh, shit.
And his mom was like, yeah, we're trying to condition him to change his attitude about school. And then I felt more guilty. I was like, you don't want to, I was like, you need to play with your own age kids, not think that like I'm your best friend.
Right.
Which, I love, but still, ego is that.
Same.
Yeah.
Got it.
I can't stop playing with this, by the way.
I know. You guys might notice that we are in a same setting, different setup. And the reason is because we're doing something a little different this week. We haven't named it yet.
Oh, snap. I just realized I failed in my job.
So we're doing a portion of our show, well, actually an episode of our show, where we want you guys to write in and tell us your stories and things like that. So if any of you who are clearly far more creative than Ed and I can come up with a fun, catchy name about, writing in and telling us your stories, we would love to steal that from you.
Yeah, just take it right from you. But for now, we're just going to call it Listener Write-In Episode. Yeah, number 1.
Okay, so this week's topic is food. So we wanted to hear your stories centered around food, cultural foods, experiences with food, all, either funny or touching, heartwarming, or, I don't know, scary, I guess.
The whole gamut. Some are a mixture of a couple of different ones.
And we got so many write-ins, so many more than we were expecting. Like, our producer, Ron, was overwhelmed. Thank you, Ron. We're so sorry.
Yeah.
And
it was very hard for him to also figure these out without telling us any of the details. So we haven't, Susie and I have not read any of these yet.
It's a cold read, guys. So whatever reaction you're going to get is our authentic reactions. So there's a good mix from what we understand of all the things that we were kind of looking for and hoping for.
Okay, so moving forward, most likely this is just going to be a segment of just regular podcasts. Maybe not every podcast, but pretty regularly. But especially because this one revolved around food and it was our first one, kind of decided we were going to have a little fun with it. And by fun, I mean we're going to eat our faces off.
So we're going to read the stories, and our producer, Ron, has given us the food that is being highlighted in the story. And so we're going to enjoy the food that has been shared.
Yeah. And for all of you guys that are listening on our podcast, we do have video podcast format on YouTube as well, but we'll make sure that we're staying very descriptive. And so quick trigger warning, there is going to be some food eating sounds. And by some, I mean a lot. And at least on my end, there's going to be a lot of weird noises because I love food.
And some of you guys like that. So those of you who enjoyed that kind of thing, consider this your first WhatintheShibal ASMR.
Yeah. So let's get started with the first story.
So this write-in, asked to keep their identity anonymous. So I'll start. During my days of middle school, 13, I didn't have my cultural foods given to me for lunch, except for only having pre-made deli sandwiches with halal meat that my father would make for me. I wanted nothing more than to share to my classmates what I loved eating growing up in my family because of a previous project we once did about traditions and cultures. Oh, that's cute. Okay.
So Ramadan had come around, and my mom usually prepares sambusas in many bags and would stash them in the freezer for the next night to fry. Seeing that she made about 500 sambusas in total for her family to last the whole month,
Oh my God.
I thought of waking up extra early to steal a bag and fry them all so that I could take them with me to share with my classmates and homeroom teacher. I did just that, and everyone actually loved it. Loved it as far as to ask the recipe from me. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to cook them and told them the truth that I stole a bag from our dinner share with them. The teacher was shocked and was worried that I could get in trouble with my family. I told him, it's not a big deal. I don't think they will be mad.
Nope, I was wrong. When I got home that day, I had shown up to go pray immediately. Mind you, as young as I was just learning about praying. So I was on the kneeling position for so long in my prayer. My mom said my mom saw the facade of it. God, sorry. She knew I was trying to avoid her confrontation, so she stood by waiting for me to finish. I swear I kneeled for like 10 minutes, when it usually takes about 2 minutes to recite the specific part of the prayer. As I turned my head right and left, finishing up my prayers, my eyes rolled up to meet her angry ones. She started yelling, "You know there's a missing bag of sambusas. Do you know where it is?"
Oh my gosh. I thought playing dumb would work. I really did. So I just look at her like, no, Amma, what do you mean missing? She then grabs my hand and led me to the kitchen to show me the pan I didn't wash after myself. Oh my God. My dumbass didn't even wash the pan to cover myself. Can you blame me though? I hated doing the dishes. What is this? She asked me. Now listen to how stubborn I was. I didn't want to back down. I wasn't going to get myself in trouble with her. I thought at this moment at how angry she already was, that even telling the truth would still result with her yelling at me more than she was. I had the audacity to reply to her with, that's a pan I didn't wash last night? She turns and just paces back and forth in anger, asking God for forgiveness for her anger during the holy month. Oh my gosh. She ends up looking at me again and says, "You mean this morning? A pan you didn't wash after yourself this morning?" And then I just started crying and my chest was hurting.
I hated making my mom mad. I really did. But I did end up telling her that all of my classmates loved it and wanted the recipe. She then relaxed a little, still annoyed at the lie, just enough for her to take my cassette player and headphones away, but she was happy. This all ended with a written recipe I was able to copy down for everyone at my class, and everyone was happy. Maybe not me though, because I wasn't gonna get my cassette player back until after Ramadan. I discovered that punishment. I deserve that punishment, rather. Sorry.
Wow.
I think that's really cute.
That's hilarious. And this is the part where we magically. Oh!
Yay!
Wow, that smells
delicious. It looks so good. Okay, so tell me a little bit about sambusas.
So we got these sambusas from an Ethiopian restaurant in Los Angeles. It is a pretty multicultural dish, as in there's many different forms. There's some countries call it samosas, sambosas, sambusas.
Okay.
These are of the Ethiopian variety, but they're basically some sort of pastry with savory fillings inside, oftentimes meat, potatoes, or there's even vegetarian ones like lentils, I believe one of them are. So we have one that's meat, or two that's meat, and one that's lentil. And from what I understand, these are some of the biggest sambusas around.
I don't have anything to compare it to, but it looks big to me. And I'm very excited. They smell so good.
They smell so good.
Okay, this is the part. If you don't want to hear us eating, you can go ahead and turn the volume down. I'm just going to use my hands.
Yes. We have chopsticks.
Hot mama. I'm going to give you the big side here.
The meat one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that smells so good.
Ooh, it's like ground beef. Oh, it smells a little spicy. Here we go.
Who doesn't want to eat that?
Wow.
No wonder that kid was so popular.
Wow. The spices.
It's spicy. It's so flavorful.
It has like a upfront but mild spice. I think I see some peppers. Wow.
That's really good. I mean, truth be told, anything wrapped in pastry, I'm gonna like it.
The pastry is so flaky.
You know what I love about this story?
Oh my God. That we get to eat this food?
First.
About me.
But I love that even as a kid, they recognized that they loved something so much that they wanted to share it. And I'm so happy because I think we all know that not every child's experience with sharing their cultural foods is always as successful. So it's really nice to hear what it is. And that's I don't know.
And
really
what's
heartwarming to
even
me.
more amazing about this for me is that this happened a while ago. This wasn't something recent because the times are changing. They're talking about getting their cassette player taken away. This was like in the 80s. And for their classmates to have been so forward in the 80s, it warms my heart to know that I guess not all of us had the same experience.
But you know what makes me mad about this story? Is that I had to wait for this story to come into my life to learn about this food because it is so fucking good.
It's so good.
Okay, that was obviously the meat one. And then we're looking for lentils.
Oh my
that's the meat
gosh.
one too.
You guys hear that? It's so crunchy. ASMR, bitches.
Oh shit, that's hot. This has lentils in it.
Yep. Lentils.
I'm not as familiar with lentils. Or I don't eat a lot of lentils
It's
in
a-
my life.
Legume, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Haha, I'm not an idiot, Mom.
That is, the flavor is much more mild, but I really like the texture of it.
Yeah.
It gives it like a little bit of a bouncier chew.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is really good.
Okay, well.
It has like a slightly different flavor profile. It's like not as spicy. I don't see any peppers. The pastry is obviously equally flaky. I mean, just listen to this.
Yeah. You like that? You like that?
That's right.
That's so good. Wait, we have to pace ourselves.
Wait.
Wait. I just realized we have to pace ourselves.
Why, Susie?
No.
I can't.
It's so good.
It's so good. None of this is a lie.
It's delicious. But we have we have a lot of stories and we have
That's so
so much
good.
food. It's so good. I'm just gonna have this.
There's
one.
literally nothing to lick off my fingers, and I'm licking them anyway.
Okay.
Wow.
That's so good.
Anonymous person, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. I'm eternally grateful that I now have Sambusas in my life.
I need to find out where you guys got these. These are so good. No joke. Okay.
All right. Now we just need to do some magical cleanup. Oh, magic is awesome. Thank you,
love
Siegfried and Roy.
Sorry about that other thing that happened.
On today, no, just kidding.
This looks like a two-parter though.
I don't ever upload it, but every time they have those prompter videos, I do it every time. You know when the newscasters have those prompter videos and they're like,
right.
pretend you're a newscaster.
do
It's like,
you?
I will, thank you.
But you never post them?
No.
Come on, give the people what they want, Ed. You have a very
Do you want them? Do
you have a very like newscaster way about you.
I don't know how to take that, but thanks. Professional. I think that's what she meant.
Sorry if I look befuddled. This has two stories. It looks like.
It is two stories, so we're gonna start. This is the second one.
Okay. So this person would also like to remain anonymous. And this writer says, my maternal grandmother, which I will call my Nana, has made tamales since she was young, and she perfected her recipe, which I had the privilege to enjoy since I was born. She is the, what's that? Oku person that knew her recipe. Oh, I think she was trying to say only. She was the only person that knew her recipe, and no one else made it for a long time. My aunt learned to make it maybe 10 years ago, but we never really got together as an extended family for the holidays anymore. So it was rare when I was able to eat her tamales unless she decided to make some to sell. I always told myself I was going to go over and learn when she made them. Of course, it's always too late. In March 2020, my Nana passed away from COVID. She was actually one of the first persons to get diagnosed. She flew to visit my aunt in Florida in February 2020. And of course, her and my tata got it. She didn't make it, but my tata did. I never learned her recipe, but I got lucky that my aunt learned it in 2020, and I made it my first tamales last year, my third time making them. I have perfected them, and they taste just like hers. My mom is beyond thrilled to be able to eat them again. Food matters.
Whew. Well, I think we're gonna need some magic time to edit away all these tears.
Oh God, like that. See, this is why I focus so heavily on food, because I know like the weight that it carries for people. And I know how deeply and profoundly it affects people. And I know that a lot of people are like, it's just food. Like, it's not. It is not just food. It is remembering people we love that we don't have in our lives anymore. It's sharing food that brings us joy and comfort in a way that is so much deeper than just satisfying our hunger, you know?
And I almost want to say, you know, I'm sorry you guys didn't have any memories with food, or maybe your parents didn't cook, but even then, takeout. I have fond memories of takeout with my family. It's not just ever food.
Or like pizza nights with your little league team, or, you know, like sharing popcorn with your grandpa when he'd come over and watch. You know, it's not just, you know, the food itself. It's the memories they create. It's the sentiments and the emotions that are fueled behind that. And I think maybe because I cooked so much with my grandmother and my mother that like I have such a deep connection to food. But I know that when I read stories like this, it's not just me, you know? Thank you so much for sharing this story. And it really, like, it touched my heart. And obviously,
yeah, I mean, we've both had tamales before, but I've actually never had the tamales that we're about to eat before. I've never had this flavor.
Oh, the chili and cheese tamales from Northgate Market. Northgate, want to sponsor us?
Well, if so, here we go. Oh!
Look at that!
Ooh.
Okay. I saw somebody on TikTok eating tamales and didn't know that you're supposed to take the corn husk.
Oh, I saw that one too.
Off of it.
He even cut it into strips. And he was like, luckily, I have my girlfriend who was like, you idiot. With chopsticks. You idiot.
Now, we don't normally eat tamales with chopsticks, but...
Oh, You're not of this camp either, huh?
No.
I hate people who do
Like,
that.
what
it
is
just
that?
creates more splinters.
And also, like, what are we trying to achieve?
They're trying to get the splinters off, but every time I do that, it
You're
just creates
making more.
splinters.
You're just making more.
And then you're
Stop
like
it.
flaking it on your
Just
food.
trying to look fancy.
It's going to be like super Asian.
Like
But
so
hey,
yummy.
if our Mexican brothers and sisters are bringing tortillas into KBBQ restaurants, I can eat a tamale with chopsticks.
You know what? I think that's fair. And also genius.
Very genius.
There's nothing more delicious
No.
to me than like a bulgogi taco.
None of it is judgmental. Every time I watch it, I'm like, I'm jealous. And
Like, why didn't I think of that?
Genius.
That's so smart.
So smart.
Okay,
and that's the reason why you don't gatekeep cultural foods, but difference between appropriation.
That's right. Way different. Very, very different. Okay, so we have a cheese and chile tamale. Ready?
Man.
This is your first time trying this flavor,
Yes.
right?
Wait. Let me get the non-masa part.
Oh, fuck, that's so good.
I smell some corn, some peppers.
I love green chili anything. Green chili anything is like my favorite.
I love corn anything. I will literally eat it. Can somebody please make a bulgogi tamale?
I saw somebody that ate kimchi one. Do it. Go home right now. Leave the podcast, Ed. Go make it.
This is so good.
It's so
And
good.
I'm sorry you can't even hear it. Or can you?
Is this something they want to hear? I feel like it's
I don't
so
think this is. I think this is like the eating equivalent of hearing the word moist.
It's so tender and it's so like, I don't know.
I hate to use the word, but it is. It's really moist. It's
and that's
not
the
dry.
one thing about tamales is like when you get a dry tamale, it's like
Worse. That's when you have to like drown it in hot sauce.
right. Oh yeah, and you're asking for hot sauce. I don't think this really even needs it.
This did not need anything. Oh yeah, that chili flavor is like very subtle. It's delicious. There's like an upfront green pepper chili flavor, and then there's like a nacho cheese background chili taste.
I could eat this all day.
Oh my god, this is so good.
I know. I have to taste myself.
Oh,
Edward.
as she says that, I literally ate just the masa part because I'm like, I love.
There you go. We'll go. It's fine. Eat it. Okay.
I love tamales.
So do I. It's
God,
honestly
so good.
top 3. Oh, sweet corn tamales.
Sweet corn tamales are like possibly my favorite. Maybe tied with this now. But oh
So
my
good,
God.
right? I'm so glad you liked it. It's a lot of pressure. Just
Oh my god, that was so good.
Northgate Market. I'm telling you.
I'm so happy. Thank you, Northgate, because I've had horrible tamales before. Nothing is worse than horrible.
And I walked in there this morning, and I was like, I saw like the array. Like, have you ever been into a Northgate Market?
No.
Okay, so Northgate Market, you walk in, and I don't know if they have it every day, but there's a woman, she has all of the agua frescas, so she's got all of those to one side, and on the back she has all of these, they look like giant rice cookers, because they're like steamers, and you open it. She has so many flavors, just filled with tamales. And then right in the front is a lady making fresh guacamole, and it's like, I could just live there. I could live there.
I live in a very Latino neighborhood, and is it Saturdays or Sundays? I'm laying in bed, and it starts around like 8:30 in the morning, but this man starts pushing a cart around, ringing a bell, yelling, tamales, tamales. And every time I want to do it, but I'm also such like a lazy piece of shit in the mornings that I'm like, do I want the tamales? Do I get out of bed? Do I want the tamales? And like it's been a while, but I'm like inching. The next time I hear it, I'm just gonna do it.
Just do. Well, you have a window, don't you? You like just.
Oh no!
Have him, like, just
Our
drop him
house
off?
is like the back house, and like we're on a hill that he doesn't go up.
Oh, got it.
So those all kind of play into it.
Get your ass out of bed.
Yeah.
Support small businesses and our local vendors.
Ooh,
Okay.
Now we just need our genie.
I love that.
Why can't I do this
now
at
that's
home?
just part of my daily life. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a genie for every day.
Up next on What in the Shibal, we have this submission from someone who has a Vietnamese name, and I am apologizing in advance if I am not saying it the best way. But we have a submission from Chien Bin, and this is what they wrote. Long story short, I was born in Vietnam in 1995. Had a name the orphanage gave me, a name the woman who gave birth called me, a name the white adopters gave me, Brittany. Adopted and forced assimilated into white culture, the United States. I legally changed my name almost 2 years ago to what it is now. I'm on my 4th name of life, and part of it was gifted. My entire name means the little warrior who moved mountains and spread light, even on the darkest of days. But different than Brittany. Anyway, I traveled to Vietnam 5 years ago during Tet and found and met the woman who gave birth to me at the age of 22.
Oh.
I didn't know about her until I was maybe 20 or 21. During that time of finding her, a true leap of faith, since it was Tet, I had tried some traditional foods with her. And again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Her gao luck, which is a boiled chicken dish. It's a boiled whole chicken dish. And cha loa, which is a pork bologna. Had never tried either or really acknowledged Tet.
Being able to experience my own cultural food that I had never experienced was really special and also nerve-wracking. I was also nervous about eating the chicken because of whether it would be cooked all the way was nervous. Sorry. Glad I tried it. This past Tet, I tried incorporating a little more. I've been trying to reclaim my culture that was taken. A little through food, though I'm not good at cooking, so I try things outside of pho. Though while in Vietnam, I liked that pho was for all meals, including breakfast. Thanks for reading.
And this is the photo of Chien Bin with her family in Vietnam. And unfortunately for this story, I had a really hard time finding both her gao luak and cha loa.
We will keep looking.
We will keep looking.
We will not rest until we have found it. But up
Yes.
to this point, we were unable to find any.
I love chicken, so.
Same.
Yeah.
But I think, again, this speaks to the magnitude and power that food has, right? I mean, it can bring you closer to a culture that you've never experienced, And I think to have something, and to use her words, taken away from her, and to have it be gifted back in this way, I think is so profound. And I think it really does, touch our spirits and our souls in ways that, maybe other things can't.
Yeah. And, I grew up, I know a lot of transracial Asian adoptees. And, for those of you out there that don't know, or maybe like thinking that, maybe you don't feel Asian enough or whatever that means, I just want you to know, as a person who grew up with Asian parents, I've related a lot more to transracial adoptees than a lot of other people because of the whole fact of trying to figure out my identity, what it means to be one and the both, without any guidance. So I just wanted, just let you know that you're not alone. But thank you for sharing your story.
We really appreciate it. And I think as somebody who's a large following, I think of mine is a lot of Korean transracial adoptees, and maybe not even just Korean, but, to your point, I think feeling close to something can come in so many different ways. And I think when you don't, I think there's something so intimate about food. unlike wearing a garment necessarily. Like food is something that you literally ingest into your body and it becomes part of who you are. It's not just like, you know, something you wear in your hair or like a song that you sing. It's something that you literally becomes part of your, on a cellular level, your humanity is, it contributes to yourself as a person. And I think that's a really beautiful way to acknowledge and try to reach out for that.
And I think it's really validating food too. Like for instance, I have a friend who is a transracial adoptee and he's Korean and he hasn't really tried many Korean foods until, you know, he started eating it with me, my family and things like that. And my mom says it every time. She goes, yep, he's definitely Korean because he loves the flavors. I mean, he will even eat the eyes of the fish that comes in like fish kui.
Yes.
And I don't even do that.
That comes from the ancestors. Yeah. That's where that comes from.
It's built there. In. So food, it just connects you to culture whether you grew up with it or not. And
also, I'd like to preface that when we say transracial adoptee, we don't mean someone who has changed their race. I think there has been a lot of controversy. Whenever I say the words transracial, people think that we're trying to say people who have decided to try to change their race, which is not a thing.
Yeah, no Ollie London's here.
No, absolutely fucking not.
Nope.
Transracial adoptees are people who are of one race that get adopted into a family of another race. Just to clarify what that means, because sometimes there's confusion around that. And when people say like, you can't change your race, I'm like, yeah, I know. That's but not what we're doing.
You can be
here.
raised and disconnected from your culture because
And that can be true. Yes. Okay, you ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
You read them, Ed. I think I need reading glasses. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And the font on this one is smaller.
Oh, geez.
Or maybe it's, I think the roller coaster really rattled my brains.
Oh my gosh.
Space Mountain was like, oh my God. And I think I like got out of there. I was like, I'm okay. And I woke up this morning, I was like, little foggy. Like I feel really hungover, but I didn't have a single drink yesterday.
Sure,
I
Susie.
didn't get wasted at Disneyland.
You spent all day with thousands of kids and you didn't have one drink.
I didn't have even one sip of a drink. I wish I kind of had.
I
did get a little tense while we were there. I'm not going to lie.
Blacked out.
Our next story comes from Anne. Go ahead, Ed.
So we have this story from Anne. She says, many years ago, in the summer before my senior year of high school, the summer of 1984, I volunteered at the local community college as a teacher's assistant for my ESOL class, which is English for Speakers of Other Languages. I absolutely loved this experience so much. As a 17-year-old girl being exposed to so many varying cultures and meeting people from around the world who were there to learn English, either as part of their path to citizenship or to be able to talk more easily with English-speaking friends, was an education in and of itself. Being so young, I quickly became friends with a Chinese girl who was around my age, maybe 1 to 2 years older. Her parents owned one of the local Chinese restaurants in town, which happened to be my family's favorite restaurant. I wish I could remember her name, but sadly, I don't anymore. She invited me to come to her family's restaurant one Friday for dinner to eat some quote-unquote real Chinese food, as she put it, and not the Americanized version I was accustomed to. I excitedly accepted, and that Friday met her at her restaurant. Her parents, who spoke broken English, could not have been more warm or welcome to me if they tried. They led me back through the main seating area and into the kitchen where a table was set up. My friends said that's where the family eats, and I was invited to dine with them at their table. The mother was busy cooking up foods with smells I can still remember. Soon enough, the table was filled with Chinese foods I didn't recognize, could not pronounce, and felt a little hesitant about, but knew even at my young age that this was an honor for me to be there with them and share in their food, and I wasn't about to be disrespectful and decline to at least try a small amount of each dish. My plate was overflowing with seafood, chicken, tons of vegetables, with sauces that were better than any takeout I had ever had. Some of it was a bit spicy, but my friend said it was Cantonese cuisine, which I knew would be mostly mild. I tasted one of everything that was served to me, and I fell instantly in love with almost all of it. I remember there were 1 or 2 dishes that I wasn't wild about, but I still ate a small amount of it to be respectful to my hosts and their kindness. Mostly we laughed, and my friend translated her parents for me so we can talk and enjoy the experience together. They tried teaching me how to use chopsticks, which had the whole table laughing at my complete failure to get right. At the end of the night, I left there with my arms filled with leftovers to take home to my parents, having been tightly hugged by everyone there and feeling very lucky to have been given such a gift. The restaurant is long gone now, but sometimes I think about this beautiful family and how warm and open they were to this young girl. Every time I get takeout from my husband's and my favorite Chinese restaurant, I'll occasionally smile at the memory of this true Chinese cuisine and culture I was once privileged enough to be exposed to, even for just one night. Yeah, this is
so lovely.
It is. It's making me a little emotional too. Just between the fact that I don't know that I've had this positive of an experience, but also knowing that there is a written proof of when people say, oh, the times were different and we were young. No, they weren't. No. In the 80s, as a teenager, she knew how to be respectful and not be disrespectful. And
come away with it with such an opening, like an open mind, and to come away with it with such wonderful experiences and memories.
That
and
lasted a whole life.
Her whole life she will remember this meal. And every time she talks about Cantonese food or eats Cantonese food or even just thinks of, you know what I mean? Like it just conjures these warm memories that will stay with her forever. And I think that's so beautiful. And I think, you can be young. You can be a teenager and you don't have to be an asshole because you think something is gross. Yep. You just don't have to fucking do it.
It's all about perception and how you choose to approach things.
Right. Yeah. And I think also a lot of people, when they discuss cultural foods and they talk about how they don't like them necessarily, or they think that they're displeasing to them, and they don't use that word. They say things like gross. And disgusting and it makes me barf and they gag and they do all of those, antics, and I call them oohs for views. It's like, see, the thing is like you do this and you broadcast it to the entire world. And the people watching that, who eat that, see that. But I want to ask the question, if there were a person of that culture literally serving you that food with this amount of love and care and pride, would you sit there and do that? And they're like, well, I can't help it if I gag at gross foods. Like, yes, you can. Mm-hmm. I promise you can. Because if you are served this by somebody you really respect, your favorite celebrity or sports player, they're like, this is my favorite dish, and it disagreed with you, you wouldn't sit there and fucking gag because you couldn't fucking control it. It gets me so fucking fired up. Mm-hmm. It makes me so upset. It's like, I can't help it. It's a natural reflex. Well, you know what? Sometimes I have a reflex to do physical things that I stop myself from doing. Mm-hmm. So if I can stop myself, so can you.
You gag, this food goes right in your face.
Exactly.
Natural.
Right down your pants.
So, for some Cantonese food, we have...
Ooh. Okay, so this is char siu. Can you explain a little bit about what this is?
Yeah, so char siu is a Cantonese barbecued pork. And I believe this one is served with some bok choy, rice, and some pickled vegetables like daikon and cucumbers.
That looks delicious. I think I've had this. I have never had it in this way, but I've had it, like, I guess I'd call it deconstructed. I've had it like in the pork buns. I think that's the meat that comes in the bao buns, like the big soft spongy ones, which I love.
I think I've had those too, but I've never had char siu just like on its own like this either.
Well, that's about to change.
Asians eating Asian. We're not cannibals, hashtag.
No, well, yet.
I don't know what that means.
You never know. Hey, shit can get weird. I don't know. Oh, it's plummy sauce. It's sweet smelling.
It does smell kind of plummy.
But not in like a teriyaki kind of way.
Ooh, burnt ends. My favorite.
Okay, ready?
Here we goes.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Oh my God. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I'm not kidding. That's fucking good.
What is happening in my mouth?
So much.
What is happening?
Holy shit. Rich.
Oh my God.
Unctuous pork. It's sweet, but it's salty.
Yes.
Savory.
So savory. This sauce is definitely sweet. I think you're right, like plum or something. This burnt end is so crunchy.
Oh my God. This is so good. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I love fatty pork so much.
Oh my gosh.
Having with the radish and the cucumbers is a really nice little palate cleanser.
What do I need to cleanse my palate from? This is for my mom.
Look, Mommy.
Yum. Just kidding.
Really
The bok choy is actually really good.
It's delicious. It's cooked really well.
Let's try some of these pickles. Oh yeah, the pickles are really refreshing.
No wonder this left an indelible memory on her. Like, this is fucking delicious.
I'm getting full, but I need this. Oh, that's a big piece.
Edward.
I shouldn't have gone that big.
It's all right.
That's what she said.
Yep.
It is so tender and juicy. Oh my God.
Do you remember where you got this?
So we got this from Rice Box in downtown Los Angeles. Supposedly, this is the best char siu in Los Angeles.
You know what?
I don't know if it counts San Gabriel Valley, though, but in Los Angeles proper, the best. And I don't have anything to compare it to, but this is perfection.
If somebody told me that, I'd believe them. It's really good. Well.
Oh, my God.
And so, if you open yourself up to experiencing different foods and different cultural foods and entering it with some degree of respect,
it just equals pleasure.
You end up with eating fucking delicious food and being really stoked about it.
Happiness and motherfucking pleasure.
What's hard about that?
Oh my God.
Like, why? Edward, where are you going?
No. I was just about to say, I can't be Asian and just like, you can't like not eat something.
It's true. You notice I call you Edward when I'm being like my mom voice.
Oh my gosh.
Edward. I can't stop though. I don't blame you. It's so good. Fuck. Okay, let's have one more. Let's have one more a little bit.
We have so much more food to eat.
Oh, so good.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Do a little bit.
Okay, let's just like, I'm just gonna like take part of this one. Because these burnt ends, I don't know if you ate any of these burnt ends or if you don't like burnt ends, but like, oh my God.
I had one.
The crunch.
It's so good.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Oh my God. I'm like literally turning to putty.
I feel like we should just change the direction of this podcast altogether.
If you would like to see us just eat all the time,
let us know.
And if we all just want to say a big F you to my mom by gaining like 30 pounds, I'm cool with that too.
Oh my God. If you think American beauty standards are hard as far as weight goes,
there's no beauty standards. It's just mom standards.
True. God, that was really good. Okay. I don't want to stop, but I feel like we should move on.
I just like need to get all the flavor off the chopsticks. Well, I hate to clean this one up, but we're gonna have to.
Okay, next story. Oh, stop it. I know.
Bye.
It's okay. You can always get more pork.
I'm gonna eat it all the time.
And now that we know it exists, we're gonna eat it all the time.
All the time.
So good.
Oh my God. So next up on What in the Shibal.
This comes from Josie.
Ooh, Josie. What a great
love the
name.
name Josie. It's one of my favorite names.
Timeless.
I almost named one of my daughters Josie.
So Josie writes, first, I am a huge fan of both Ed and Soogia.
Thank you.
Not sure who is reading, but hello. Hi, Josie. Thank you for all that you do in the community and just your amazing presences in the world. I am Josie. My TikTok is at Joe's Eats Mukbang.
Aha. She's an eater. I like it.
And I have a YouTube account, which I used to post to me before eating before getting too busy being a first-time mom and figuring that out.
Relatable.
Very relatable. I mean, I'm not, but I get it.
I get it.
So here's the story. I moved back and forth because my father was in the Air Force. Once he retired, we moved to Reno, Nevada. My mother had troubles coming to the States, so I didn't have her cooking very often, but my dad did his best. Well, one day my mom's visa was fixed, and she finally got to us. Her first lunch she made us was meonteji bulgogi, which is Korean spicy stir-fried pork. To which my sister and I ate in the hallway in front of the main school doors. Not crowded or many people and great airflow. As every student passed us, people said it smelled like rotting corpses and sewage.
I went from being really happy to not happy.
Yeah, angry, more like. God damn it. Yep. Only because it smelled different and it was mainly a white school. My sister and I never ate our lunch after that day because it was the final straw. We assumed being in high school,
Wow.
we wouldn't be bullied anymore. Sadly, we were wrong. I love how open people are now, but I still fear the bullies for when my son goes to school. But hopefully by then, there will be more love than hate. Thank you again for all that you do. Bless you both and each of your families.
Thanks for writing that in, Josie. I appreciate that. Oh.
Yeah.
That makes me so angry.
I literally have goosebumps because I think I'm getting PTSD.
Yeah, I totally understand. I hear that. And it's like, first of all, 돼지 불고기 is like one of the best smelling things
It's, oh my God.
in the world.
I mean, like,
There's nothing better. Like
Yeah.
if my mom were cooking that, I'd come home and be like, yes, I knew exactly what it was.
when I'm outside, you can smell it when you're near a Korean restaurant. And it
Absolutely.
literally, I'm always like, where's that coming from? Turning into non-rapey Pepe Le Pew here.
He's such a scumbag. We'll have a whole episode on Pepe Le Pew.
Or never.
I mean, and they were in high school.
That's despicable. That's so sad.
And she's right. Yes, you know, coming back or, you know, looking back now, it is definitely much better than it was. But I know it still exists,
Yes.
you know, and I know how hard it is for kids to, you know, bring their lunches to school. Do you know how many people, anytime I make a video about like cultural foods and, you know, cafeteria trauma stories and things like that, how many people, literally hundreds and hundreds of people who tell me, oh yeah, every day I would throw my lunch away. And now my mom is gone and I regret that so much. And it's like, oh my God, it's just a fucking like dagger through the heart. And it's like all that time and food and, you know, love like wasted because people can't get their fucking head around pork. Like what's wrong with people?
I brought bulgogi and kimbap and I got made fun of. And
Mm-hmm.
after the second one, I literally went home, freaked out at my mom and told her, oh, because then after that, she made me a tuna fish sandwich, which was still stinky.
Also stinks.
Yeah. So like I just literally came home one day and I was like, Mom, turkey, cheese, sandwiches. And then till the day I graduated, that was in second grade, till I graduated
that's all you
high
got.
school, that's all I got. And it almost started becoming bland towards the end, but then, you know, trauma, you know.
Yeah,
is-
it's almost like it's better
Yeah.
to suffer this than that.
So then, I mean, the sandwiches were delicious. My mom made really gourmet sandwiches. So sometimes I would just like, you know, trade.
Yeah, that's true. But I just feel like I wish kids didn't have to make that consideration.
No.
You know what I mean? And to know that, like, listen, I'm a mom. And I know how hard it is to like work and pack lunches and get all that stuff done on time and to put so much effort and love into it and to one day find out that your kids threw it away because of shame is like, that hurts in so many different directions. You know what I mean? Like
does.
it's so painful for everybody involved. Like if I made lunch for my daughters and I knew that they went to school and threw it away, not just because they didn't like it, but because they did like it, but threw it away anyway because they were afraid of being bullied, like it would shatter my fucking heart. It would break my fucking heart to hear that, to know that.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say more like I would go into school and I would break things.
There's that aspect, and I didn't say
just
that
kidding.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not.
then do that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people do crazy things from a broken heart, and that could be easily one of them.
Yeah.
Easily. And you know, like, I don't know, that just makes me so sad. Like her mom was like, I'm finally here in America with my daughters, and I'm going to share my food with them. And then,
Yeah.
that's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully now we know better to know that it's more about them than it is us. You know what I mean? Those kids probably were just jealous because they're getting peanut butter jelly lunches and someone's eating this like, they're eating meat dishes, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is you're like, basically you're eating steak or like a cut of meat. So, you know, probably had a lot to do with that or the fact that your mom even came
Back.
to give it to
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
right.
So it's just, but you know, hopefully for Josie, you know, I don't know where you are, but I think the times are changing.
Yeah, I will say my youngest daughter, she asked me, she said, Mom, how come you never give me kimchi in my lunch? And I was like, honey, I would like instantly trauma. I was like, why would you ask me that? What do you mean? And she's like, you never give me kimchi. I eat kimchi at home all the time, but you never send it to school. And I'm like, well, aren't you so worried that your friends are going to make fun of you and say that it stinks? And she's like, why would they do that? And I was like, really? Why would they wouldn't do that? She's like, no. But she's like, of course they would. She's like, Mom, they're my friends. And she's like, they even asked me why I never bring kimchi to school. And I was like, okay. And so I packed it for her and I sent it to school. And I literally was like white knuckling the whole day. The whole next day I was like, oh my God, she took it. She's going to open it up in the lunchroom and it's going to, you know, the whole scent is going to permeate the whole room. It can't help, you can't help it. And she comes home that day and I'm like, hey, how was your
Yeah,
day? How was your
anxious.
snack? Was
Yeah.
everything okay? And she's like, yeah, but Mom, she said, why did you do that? And I was like, oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, why did I do what?
Yeah.
And she's like, you packed me so much. she's like, me and my friends tried to finish it, but we couldn't. You gave us so much. I was like, did I overcompensate? I was like, so I gave her like an entire like kimchi pyong of it. And she's
Wait, so you were scared it was gonna stink up the whole lunchroom. So you gave her enough to stink up the
I think I
school.
was like in a daze. I was like, I didn't know what to do. And I was like, if I give her a little, cause then I was like, if I give her too much, she might be on to the fact that I don't want to give it to her and let her show off what it is. So I overcompensated. Yeah. Clearly, I overcompensated. I was like, maybe part of me was kind of like, fuck you, lunchroom. It's going to fucking stink for days. And I just gave her the whole jar. I don't know my deep psychological motivations
Trauma
for it.
is crazy.
But I'm telling you, it was real. But now she was so happy to take it. And it felt so good. There was like this like little Soogia inside of me was like, it felt really good to experience. I bet,
because especially kimchi too is like
of all the things.
It's the lingering smell, the garlic. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are all the reasons why kimchi is amazing. But like we Koreans know, you eat a heavy kimchi lunch,
it's gonna be on you.
Yeah, and like your breath,
it's
not
like, going anywhere.
Better
for
have
a
some mouthwash,
yeah. Or don't have mouthwash and be like, what?
Yeah.
This is part of who I am right now. But I think Teji bulgogi is one of my favorites.
Oh my God.
For sure.
It's like a treat.
I'm really excited.
I'm so excited. And yeah.
Ta-da! Oh. This makes me so happy.
This is a whole bento box.
This feels like home.
Or better than home. Actually, my mom didn't cook pork.
Really?
Yeah. So we grew up Seventh-day Adventist, if you know what that is.
I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You did?
Mm-hmm. We grew up Seventh-day Adventist. If you don't know what that is, in the most non-offensive way possible, we're basically followed Jewish religion, but we believe in Jesus as a Christ. And one of the things is we don't eat pork, shellfish, things like that. So like my mom mostly didn't cook it because she was vegetarian and she was like, pork's not good for you. So it wasn't necessarily religion for me, but yeah, like she never cooked it. Like I only ate bacon and stuff like when I went to like other people's houses.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I learned something new about it at least 10, 15 facts every day.
But I also went to like Presbyterian churches too. My mom was like, you should just be well-rounded as a Christian. And I was like, oh, okay. I hate church.
Fair. Okay. What do we have, Ed?
So we have the spicy teji bulgogi, which is spicy pork. It's like rib meat, essentially, that's taken off the meat. We have some rice, some simple salad. I believe this looks like some sort of kimchi kakdugi or something. We have some japchae, which is vermicelli noodles. Amazing.
God, I'm so excited.
Stir-fried fish cakes. And then we have Korean people we love our Korean potato salad.
And I know I'm going to say something very controversial.
Oh.
In only in the Korean style potato salad, I like raisins. I know, I said it. I know. But Korean style potato salad is different than non-Korean potato salad. It's a little bit sweeter anyway. So I feel like maybe not raisins, but like currants, I've had it.
Oh, I've never had currants. I don't mind the raisins. My aunt makes it with grapes. That's delicious.
I've also had it with apples.
Oh, my aunt actually puts apples and grapes.
Yeah, now it's fruit salad.
Mm-hmm. It is a fruit salad.
Now it's ambrosia.
With potatoes. But it's delicious.
Delicious. Okay, let's try it. No, I think most places, I always start with their kimchi because I feel like that really is a good indicator on what my experience is going to be overall.
Do we even want to dress the salad?
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Delicious. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Oh yeah,
this is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. And that's not like kakdugi. That's crap. What is that called? It's like that more refreshing vinegary one.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember now.
Sorry, please don't take our Korean card. But if you do know, just let us know.
You can take the card, just don't take the kimchi.
Oh
wait, this has macaroni in it. What? Macaroni
macaroni
salad?
Oh, it is a macaroni potato salad.
And potato?
With corn.
Oh, that's fucking good.
It's corn. Oh my gosh.
Delicious. Oh, that's really good.
We're such nerds.
We are such
like
nerds.
Freaking out
we?
about.
What the fuck did I do?
You agree?
You said it's corn. That's a fact. I didn't start singing. We.
I meant the fact that we're like getting giddy over potato.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. But
it's a potato mag salad.
And I think fish cakes is one of the most popular panchans.
Yeah, whenever I tell people it's fish cake before they eat it, they have this idea that it's gross. Every time people eat it and then ask me, they think it's chicken.
Right. It's not like a cake made out of fish, like a birthday cake.
It's just processed. Delicious.
All right.
So
the main event.
Yep. Oh, here we.
Shit.
That was inevitable.
That's delicious. Spicy, porky. You can taste the gochujang in it, which is my favorite.
Yeah, and it's rib meat, so it's like it just melts in your mouth.
That's good.
It's so tender. It gave us so much.
Maybe it also just looks like a lot because this is like our 15th meal today.
Fair. And this is how I want to live and die.
This place is called...
So we got this from Bulgogi Hut in Koreatown in Los Angeles. Very popular spot.
I've never heard of it. Bulgogi Hut?
Bulgogi Hut. They're known for their bulgogi. But they're just a traditional KBBQ place. Very good. If you go on the weekends, you're like going to wait at least an hour.
This is delicious. Try it, everybody. Oh, what the fuck are they talking about? It stinks.
I'm going to tell you what it smells like. It smells like meat. It smells like delicious spice. Oh, maybe that's what it was. She went to a white school. They smelled spices, and they were like, oh, what is that? It's fucking spices.
This smells like somebody loves you, is what that smells like. Maybe that's why. Maybe they didn't recognize love.
It smells like someone who knows how to use more than just salt.
We also know how to use mayonnaise. Okay. Okay.
QP mayonnaise.
Oh, delicious. Okay, that was good. Oh, I just got a piece of apple.
You got apple? I did. I'm jealous.
It adds a little punctuation.
I keep getting corn. Why is corn so good? The texture, the flavor. It's like little flavor bursts, like in your mouth, you know? And you can't eat teji bulgogi without eating a little bit of rice.
No, rice is
life.
It is. All right.
Oh my God. If you guys weren't here, I would just like drink this.
It's so good. It's actually really good. Bulgogi Hut. All right. Awesome. All right, moving on.
Yep. And
I know. I'm so sad. It's like, oh, it's still warm.
I know, and they leave behind some stuff.
This is it's just the sign of a good meal.
Yeah, that's literally what that is.
Okay. Who do we have next, Ed?
Next we have Leanne Lee, who writes, "Hi, Ed and Susie."
Hi, Leanne.
Hi. You guys know I'm such... we don't. But you guys know I'm such a big fan of you guys.
We know now.
We know now. Thank you. Been following y'all for a while now, especially Susie, when she was just sitting at like 30K. Seeing you grow has been such a joy.
Leanne, thank you. That's really nice. Thank you.
And Ed, that last video you made about the cello, I swear you're reading my mind because I literally just wrote a script 3 nights ago about my piano experience, and it was pretty much exactly like your cello experience.
Interesting.
And that's why these conversations are important.
So necessary.
Yeah. It's as if you're reading my mind. We're on the same wavelength, bro. LOL. Anyways, you want food stories. Unfortunately, mine are very much like yours, being made fun of at school for eating worms, aka noodles, etc. So the stories are not that much different. I will say one that stood out, and I made a video on this 2 years ago about how someone in grade 5 called my dumplings poop because the word dump is in dumplings.
I hate kids sometimes.
Yeah, like, you're not smart. They were like, Leanne's eating pooplings. And the whole class came over to my desk, pointed, and laughed at my lunch going, ew, Leanne eats poop.
Leanne, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Yeah. If that's poop, well,
yeah.
I don't know where that...
Bring me a plate of poop.
Yeah, I don't know where that joke was going. I didn't like it, so I stopped.
Oh,
Susie kept going.
I just realized who this is. It's Leanne, my friend Leanne. It's me, Leanne. Hi, Leanne. We've been mutuals forever. It didn't click to me because I didn't know her last name.
That's what happens when we read this anonymously. So,
hi, Leanne. Yeah. Thank you. I love you. Sorry, I'd keep going.
Obviously, as a mom now,
our children are beautiful.
I fully understand kids and their ways of manipulating words into bathroom words. I made vids of my daughter calling words like peanuts, peacock, and album inappropriate. But dang, did those words sting as a 10-year-old. I never, ever wanted to eat my mom's lunches ever again. Even during high school, I'd take her lunch and throw it in the trash and buy myself fries for lunch.
That's not as nutritious.
No, and sad.
I know.
I'd come home lying to my mom saying I ate her lunch. Again, as a mom now, if I find out my daughter was throwing her lunch in the garbage, I'd be devastated. And as you know, food holds so much meaning in our culture. So to toss out a lunch is basically rejecting my love. And she wrote LOL, but
not LOL. Yeah. I'm not lolling.
Anyways, I've rambled long enough. You haven't. I really just wanted to write in and say that I'm a fan of you both and keep up the good work. I'm cheering you on. Also, bravo on the podcast. It's been at the back of my mind to launch one too, so this is quite the inspiration.
Well, hopefully, Leanne, when you finally do, we can be part of that as well because your story was so... I mean, it's sadly so relatable, but it's also so common. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I literally just said, if I found out my kids were throwing away their lunches, it would break my heart. And I cried, Leanne. And I think having this shared experience, I think it speaks to, you know, how big of an issue this is. And it goes so far beyond just like a one-off. It's not a one-off. This happens to kids everywhere. Yeah. All the time.
And I mean, this story in particular is just asinine because dumplings exist in almost most cultures.
Absolutely.
I mean, even in America, we have chicken
and dumplings.
Right.
I mean, pierogies.
Pierogies,
like calzone is maybe just a giant one.
I mean, no offense to the Italians, but it could technically be like a ginormous baked dumpling,
right?
Of pizza proportions.
Nonetheless, it's a very common thing to have and eat a dumpling and to have, again, just the kids. It really, for me, it all boils down to the kids. And this was even before I had kids. I always have had a very soft spot in my heart for kids because, I don't know, I've always, especially
what are you, a monster?
Right.
Like if you don't.
But especially when people or children, even like animals, like when I see a squirrel, like on the side of the road eating, there's like a vulnerability to it that I just like look at it and I just have so much compassion. So like when I watch my children eat food, there's just this like overwhelming sense of compassion that like consumes me. And so like when I watch my dogs eating like a treat or like, you know, I watch, you know, my family eat a meal that I've made, there's just something about it that stirs, you know, deeper emotions rather than, you know, just them eating. So I can totally understand what Leanne's saying.
And I partially think that's a cultural thing as well. Because like, you know, Asians, Koreans, we like love to feed each other. Yeah, but it's not just...
Because we're so repressed, we don't know how to say I love you out loud.
But that's like common in so many other cultures. Mm-hmm. Love is shown through food, almost previously in a toxic form to the point where like that was how you got it. But that's just, again, not to drive this point home, but like food is love, food is life.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, you might call them pooplings, but I call them delicious.
Mm-hmm. So here is to some pooplings.
Dumplings, pooplings.
Wow.
We ordered these from Dan Modern, and I got the pork dumplings, and then we got the chicken and shrimp xiaolongbao. Delicious. This is very exciting. Okay.
I can see the liquid inside.
So juicy. Like, who wouldn't want to eat this?
Also, this is the cutest thing ever. It's like a little string bean wrapped in a dumpling skin.
In a blanket. It's adorable.
Yeah.
I love it.
Unfortunately, I hate string beans.
You do?
Trauma from my mom.
Trauma from your mom?
Yeah, also Saturdays and Sundays, my mom would make me breakfast. And you want to know what it was?
Not pork.
It was steamed vegetables.
What?
Mm-hmm. Every Saturday and Sunday, she would make me a plate
that
this
was like
big.
It's the weekend.
Mm-hmm. And it was a breakfast of steamed, like, and you know those like mixed vegetables that they have frozen, like the corn, the string beans, the lima beans and stuff.
Yeah, my grandma used to make that for me all the time.
She would make that, and I would have to eat it, and it would literally take me 3 to 4 hours to eat it, and it would only stop because by the time my mom got annoyed or got busy and had to step away from the table, I would shovel all the food in my mouth, go to the bathroom, and spit it out in the toilet and flush it. every week, Saturdays and Sundays, my whole childhood.
What?
So to this day, I can't eat any of those like lima beans, string beans. Like I am forever traumatized. Like cooked carrots, none of it. I can't.
Maybe we should do an episode where we try to untraumatize ourselves about
Nope.
certain foods. Come on, I could make you a delicious dish with frozen vegetables.
Totally okay with never eating like string bean casserole or lima beans.
Okay, well, I won't push you.
I mean, I won't say no, but
I'm gonna do
probably
it.
no.
I'm gonna make you. Okay, first I'm gonna start with this kind of dump.
What's this sauce?
Looks like sriracha and some kind of soy dipping sauce.
Sriracha and some sort of like soy / fishy, slight fish sauce.
Oh, it's like thicker than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, that's fish sauce. That's fish sauce. That's some sort of soy blend.
Are you sure? No, it's soy sauce.
Really?
You wanna fight?
Why is it so strong? It burned my nose.
No, it's soy sauce. It's maybe like a blend of sauces.
Oh man, maybe I've never smelled soy sauce before. Well,
That's what it smells like to me.
before I keep sounding like an idiot, I'm just
Just shove a dumpling in your mouth, honey.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
What sauce are you gonna put it in?
This one.
Okie dokie.
I think the xiaolong bao is better with the ginger and the soy is how we're supposed to do it.
This fried dumpling smells
so
amazing. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
How hot? Fuck, that's good.
Oh my god. Dumpling is love.
I mean,
Do you know how much time it takes to make all these individual
have
dumplings?
you ever watched people making them? Like in the window of like a
No,
Din Tai
I
Fung?
make them. Yeah.
Oh, you make them?
Yeah. I make dumplings often. It takes all day.
Dude,
Yeah.
you are a real Renaissance man.
Ever since my mom visited me that one time, I've just been on this tear of trying to get all of that information before, the inevitable happens. But like, I've had that guilt with my grandma. I was like, oh my God, I don't have any of my grandma's recipes. Luckily, I learned a lot from her,
Yeah.
but I was also like, I just need, you know what I mean? So just been like really trying to connect.
All right, really? Shalom. I don't have a spoon, but
I know, I was
we're
just about to
gonna
say
have
that.
this
It's going to be hard without a spoon.
I mean, if we just shove it in our mouths, I guess.
I've actually never had a shalom bao before.
What? Edward?
I know.
That's juicy. Just eat it.
Wow, that's delicious.
That's so good.
How do I eat this soup?
Just drink it. Yep.
Oh my God, that's delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just animal fat. It's amazing. I mean, that's what it is. It's so good.
Dude. Dan Modern, I'm telling you. It's a good place.
I need one more. And this time I'm not going to be stupid. I'm just going to.
Dude. It's just like a little bomb of flavor. I mean, like,
How do they do that?
all right.
Oh my God, it's so tender and juicy and flavorful.
Oh, Leanne, thank you again so much for writing in. I love you so much. And I want you to start the podcast. Start it.
Do it.
We'll do it. We'll do it with you. We'll go on there. Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yeah, I mean, no, but yeah.
No, I kind of want to know. No, I'm getting so full.
I'm like having a hard time breathing.
And I've only taken like one bite of like each thing, but like
Totally.
a lot of different things.
Yeah. I've only had one bite too.
All right, let's move on to I think our final story. Or do we have, no, we have two more.
Yeah, we have 2 more.
Okay. See you soon.
Soon.
Boom. Okay. I can read this.
right.
I'll try to read this and see if my eyes can focus now. This is from Lillian. Lillian writes, my African-American mother came from a tiny town in Louisiana. But she wanted to broaden our worldview through food. We rarely ate out, but she always was keen to show us different culture through foods whenever possible. We went to the first dim sum restaurant in our area in the 70s.
70s, wow.
We were usually one of the only non-Asian families in the place. That's the sign
like-
of a good
yep.
restaurant.
Secret.
We were also in attendance at every ethnic food festival that we could logically go to. My mother could bring us around the world My mom couldn't bring us around the world, but she wanted to bring the world to us and educate us in doing so.
That's love.
It was very forward thinking for her, I'll say. And I'm so appreciative of her sacrifice. We all grow up to be become adventurous because of her. Oh, God. Travel junkie. I can see why, Lillian.
And that's why she named her name at Travel Junkie 59 after her mother.
That is so sweet. My mother couldn't bring us around the world, but she wanted to bring the world to us.
Again, in the 70s. This isn't a new concept. You were just ignorant.
That is so lovely. Oh, I tried to do that with my kids too. Like, I think it's so important. And like, it is so forward thinking. In the 70s, to think to like, challenge your children's palate.
And even when I travel now, I mean, yes, sometimes I do the touristy things, but for me, the main objective is food. Like I absorb culture through food. You learn so much, sometimes you learn history.
Right.
Like, why did they use these ingredients or this,
Right.
There's so
or
much.
Like, how did it get here from somewhere else? Or like, how did this food transcend from China to this part of the world? And now is this different food? Like, it's so interesting. There's so much to learn. You might
eat something and be like, whoa, we have something similar in our culture,
exactly.
Like.
I mean, in the 70s too, if you consider like the political implications of a black family traveling around to eat different ethnic foods like that. Your mom was also really brave.
She was really brave.
I don't know if she's still with us, but she sounds like an amazing woman.
Yeah.
And I think she was beyond her times, and I think that's really cool.
Probably taught you to be also be an amazing woman, so thank you, Lillian.
Lillian, we loved that story so much. I might get that tattooed on me. I think that's so sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So I think this brings us to our last one, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, go for it, Ed. You can have this one.
This is from Anita. Hey, Susie and Ed. I love the pod so far.
Thank you.
And find so many things in common with your stories from the perspective of being the child of an immigrant parents. Even in the first few episodes, it's wild how many of your stories feel familiar to me. So food. I'm first generation Cuban American, and some of our food was easily accepted by my Anglo friends. Everybody loves a Cuban sandwich. We sure do.
I do.
But some foods were a big nope. Once we were having a pig roast, and I was so excited to show my best friend how delicious the pig looked after several hours cooking. When I opened the barbecue and she saw the whole pig split down the middle with the head on, she screamed, threw her drink on the ground, and ran home. Oh my God.
Oh.
I had no idea that Americans didn't barbecue the whole animal. Luckily, we were meant to be BFFs, and we still are 40 years later. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And I make her roast pork for Christmas every year.
Oh my God.
That's like slightly endearing and also like an amazing, like,
I think that's
gotcha, bitch.
I love, like, you couldn't help it. You loved it.
But that's like what true friendship is,
I think that is so sweet. You know what, though? I think this is a good time for a disclaimer. If you have friends that are outside of your culture and you can maybe foresee that there's something that they might not be aware of, let them know.
Yeah.
Like if they're going to see an entire animal.
Yeah. But I mean, like Anita said, she didn't know. She just assumed that this is how everyone did it, which would make sense, when you're so accustomed to one thing.
I'm just visualizing her friend.
Like
opening, like,
and then literally like
looking home.
Yeah, like in a cartoon where it just goes fling, and it's just like a cloud of dust that's left, like
or it's like the feet.
Yeah, and then
have you ever been to a pig roast?
Yes, I have.
Me too. Mm-hmm. I think it's really cool. I've been to, obviously go to like luau's in Hawaii.
Yeah, actually never been to Hawaii, but actually the pig roasts that I've been to were done by white people.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess times have changed a little bit.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
Hawaiian Airlines, if you'd like to sponsor an episode of WhatintheShibal so that Ed can have his first, pig roast luau experience, you can email us.
Mm-hmm. I would very much like to go to Hawaii. So,
we can make that possible. Wouldn't it be so fun?
Email us.
Like just doing our podcast from Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'll have a Mai Tai and a pig roast. Fucking A.
Sounds delicious.
I love the story, Anita. I think it's really... I think it's very endearing, and I love that you guys have remained friends for 40 years. And I think that having the pork roast connection is so sweet.
And honestly, it sounds like there was some understanding both ways. Anita understood that, like, I didn't get a chance to prep my friend because I didn't know that she didn't know.
Right.
And it sounds like her friend
had a massive freak out, but then came around and was like, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that. I was caught off guard. My reaction was maybe a little outside of, I don't know, calm.
And I don't know how old they were, but like, if you weren't expecting and you saw this whole pig, it could be a little jarring.
I could imagine, I mean, I think, and that's the thing too, like American cooking, like you just kind of go to the grocery store and you buy the already cut meats and you don't see it. But like I've seen, animals be slaughtered and stuff like that.
In the wet markets, that's actually the majority of the world.
Yeah. I've seen my grandma do it at my parents' house in our white neighborhood in the cul-de-sac.
Oh. Trauma.
We'll talk about that. She was real strong.
Yeah. OG. OG.
She was all of 4'11". She could.
Oh my gosh.
She was teensy, but she was stronger than any grown man I know.
Oh my gosh.
No joke.
I literally was having a conversation with my roommate yesterday, and we were talking for some reason about, we watched some video where somebody was, just killed their own, some sort of bird, and they were like, depucking it or plucking it or whatever the word is. I don't even know,
Right.
And we got into the conversation. He was like, could you do that? And I was like, oh no. I was like, I can't. Plucking a bird, I was like, I can't. Oh my gosh! I watched those videos.
Really?
And like, I'm just like very. I can't like, even when I watch movies, like when I watch Saw and stuff, like I'm one of those people who like literally covers their eyes because I can't. You know what I mean? And then, but like, I also try to like kind of see through. Because I want to believe that but I'm not.
See, sometimes when I get a chicken at home and I'm preparing it to do whatever, and sometimes it has those feathers. I'm like, like my ancestors. I'll like pull the remaining ones out. There's only like 2 or 3, but I'm like, this is how the women in the mountains in my ancestry did it. No, not for you. Mm-mm. See, it makes me feel like connected to my roots.
I pluck those out while going, oh God.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like
just like the women before me. And there's something very like visceral about it for me.
I'm literally getting a migraine thinking about it. My head hurts.
I loved this though. I think, learning that we can connect through food, and even though the connection isn't always a straight line, and isn't always easy, you can always come back to it.
And Anita didn't specify it here, but it's obvious that her friend had a learning moment.
For sure. What I mean?
And that's a great thing to share.
And this is a Cuban roasted pork. So I didn't know if I could find specifically Cuban roasted. Yeah. So we went ahead and got Hawaiian roasted pork.
Yeah, which we're about to show right now.
Delicious.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this is, what do we got?
Hawaiian
Don't drink
pulled
that.
pork.
Don't drink it yet.
I'm smelling. This is soy sauce for real.
No, it's probably like a sweet.
It is a sweet and soy sauce.
Teriyaki, yeah.
Oh, okay. Teriyaki maybe.
We have pork. Mac salad again.
Mac salad.
2 scoops of rice and some various vegetables that we probably won't get to.
Also known as broccoli.
I think there's bok choy. Oh, no, there's cabbage.
Cabbage I'm okay with. Broccoli, no thank you.
I'm going to eat a piece of cabbage. Do you want to pour that on? Just like a little bit, maybe. I mean, that was like a really...
You said little.
What? I said little, not minuscule. There, perfect. All right, so this is a smoked pork, I think.
Yum. They cook this pig whole.
That's delicious. Also so tender. We had a lot of tender pork today.
Wow. That is really flavorful.
So good. Wait, I like this a lot.
It is. It's definitely really tender. It has like a smoky flavor.
Sweet.
Salty. Sweet, salty.
I'm really sensitive to like overly smoked things. This is really just like perfectly smoked.
Yeah, there's just like a hint of back smokeness. Yeah.
Right, just get it on the mac salad.
I knew you were going to eat the mac salad.
It's good. Mac salad to me, it's not my favorite. I liked the other one better that had all the other goodies. If you'll remember, it had corn.
Corn. I actually know the whole song, by the way.
No, bud. Well, you're gonna sing it out.
It's a big nub. I'm just kidding.
It has the juice.
It has the juice. I'll just stop there.
I am so full. I am so happy. I think this episode was I had so much fun.
I had so much fun.
Like, obviously, like, I love food and I love eating food, but I love sharing stories about food. And I love how, you know, we can so clearly see how food connects us all in one way or another. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. Like, what a wonderful thing to share with each other, you know?
Yeah, and this episode's been really amazing because as I was saying before, I actually haven't tried a lot of these foods before, especially, and Ethiopian food is definitely one that I've wanted to try for a while.
Yeah, it's on the list.
But it's like, for me, it was like Indian food where I just don't know what anything is, to the point where when I go, I get really overwhelmed. And I never felt comfortable like asking any one of my friends from that culture to like show me, because it feels like...
But also, I think conversely, if you think like, if one of your friends was like, "Hey Ed, I've been really thinking about trying Korean food and I'm so unfamiliar with it," you know, you'd be like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." I would
definitely be open. But I just always kind of felt like I was being a bit, not even just like a burden, but like, hey, why don't you teach me about your culture? You know what I mean? Like,
right, which I understand, but I think food is such an easy introduction for people to handle. It's not like, tell me about your country's history. Right. Tell me about the political strife of your nation.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's like, let's go have a meal and eat foods that you love.
Yeah.
And you'll be super fried. I know that for me, if somebody wants to talk about Korean food and like what my favorites are, I love that conversation.
Same.
I love that topic. So I would imagine that this extends to others.
It's true.
Obviously you have to enter it with some kind of, you know,
some grace.
With some grace.
Yeah.
And also maybe some people don't. And that's another thing too. It's like maybe some people aren't familiar. But it's, I think, in how you ask, and I think, you know, subtlety and dropping the hint and then letting them take the ball, I think is a good way to go about it.
That's a good point. But definitely because of this, you know, at least someone was like, hey, you should try Sambusas, which then, you know,
are now my favorite food of all time ever to be eaten every day.
Yeah. So I really did enjoy this episode because I'm really just thankful from a selfish standpoint that I got to try all this amazing food that I never got to before.
And I'm also really grateful that you guys wrote in. It really it touches my heart that people would take the time to like sit down and like write to us and tell us their stories. I think that's such a I don't know. I think that's a really kind gesture. I think it's really nice to know that people actually want to share themselves with us. So I want to thank all of you guys for writing it. And for those of you whose stories we didn't get to, we're so sorry. But keep writing in. Keep writing in your fun stories.
Yeah. And we'll, don't have another one yet, but we'll definitely have one for you guys to write in again very soon.
Yeah, so but don't do a food one yet because I have to digest this meal first.
Oh, okay.
Or you can.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, we'll definitely revisit the food again, but we definitely have other topics that we want to have you join in on the conversation with.
Definitely.
We really, really do appreciate everyone supporting us, all the kind words of support, of how you relate to all the stories and, you know, and things like that. It really... As much as you think it's helping you, it's also helping us as well.
Tremendously.
You know, to really help connect with the community and know that we're also not alone either, you know? So,
and to see that our little podcast is like gaining momentum and people are liking it. Like I feel like we've reached a level of success at this point that I'm like, well, I'm proud already. I feel great about it so far.
I do. I feel very happy about this podcast, and I'm very excited and happy that we're doing it, and I'm very thankful. We're very thankful.
We really are.
That you all listen. So if you are watching us on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and like this video. Otherwise, follow us on our socials. Follow us on our socials. Sorry. It's WhatintheShibal right here. And then we have...
You can follow me on both TikTok and Instagram at Soogia1.
And I am Etch-a-Sketch on everything, and the prompts will be up on the screen. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.
Oh my God, I'm so full.
Oh, that was so good. Okay.
You know,
I'm so full.
I wore leggings on purpose because I was like,
damn it, I should have.
I don't want to wear hard pants today.
Smart.
If I wear hard pants, I'll be in big trouble.
Mmm.
That's good.